follow-up to that is, and I'm glad that the city solicitor is still here, because we have this individual who has met with you, met with members of the council, who wants us to retry this trial for the spy plane. And for the amount, I actually calculated it myself, for the amount that the foundation or whoever is going to pay for that plane would cost, we could get roughly about 40 new citywide cameras and 60 license plate reader units a year. And I just want for you to talk about what you have heard about that technology so far, and then for our city solicitor to explain to the public once and for all, answer the question of, does this body, Mr. Solicitor, have any authority or any legal standing to say whether the commissioner uses or does not use that spy plane technology?
You want me to answer?
Yeah,
first?
you can answer. Yeah, you're fine.
First, I did meet with the gentleman who has the spy plane and the spy plane concept. I've actually met with him twice in my 7 months that I've been here, early on and then much recently. And this has not been done in an American city. And so there's no way to validate the way he forecasts his crime reduction percentages. And because he can't validate that, it has not been done in an American city. There is no way to answer how it will work. It is a prediction at best.
Thank you. And to that point, Mr. Commissioner, you have been involved with major city chiefs and all those associations. Yes. And have any of the other chiefs ever talked about this technology, or have they been more concerned or more willing to try CCTV, LPRs, things that have proven records of reducing crime?
I've never had a chief in a discussion about that spy plane, and not a chief in this country that I've met with.
Thank you. Mr. Solicitor?
Thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the committee. I can tell you, Mr. President, that from a legal perspective, constitutional perspective, state constitution, state laws, federal laws, there is absolutely no impediment, constitutionally speaking, legally speaking, to the use of that technology.
That's not the question, Mr.
Okay,
Solicitor.
I want to make sure I understand it.
No, thank you. The question was whether this body, either myself or any of the council members, has the authority to tell the commissioner whether he should use or does not use that technology.
Oh.
By law.
That's a much harder question, Mr. President. Does this body have the authority? I think this body has the authority to say whatever it wants to say.
Legally binding, Mr. Solicitor.
Legally binding? I don't think this body can tell a Baltimore City Police Commissioner how to run the Baltimore City Police Department. Obviously, this is ground that has been gone over many, many times, many years. The fact of the matter is the Baltimore City Police Department is a state agency. Baltimore City Police Commissioner is a state official, and under the public local law, this body simply is displaced from the authority to exercise binding authority over the Baltimore City Police Department. Now, this body could refuse to give the Baltimore City Police Department any money. You could do that and put the Baltimore City Police Department out of business.
You don't have to worry about that, Mr. Commissioner. You don't have to worry about that.
I don't think anybody wants to see that happen. But no, as you know, Mr. President, the public local laws of Maryland for 170 years have been that the Baltimore City Police Department is a state agency, and there are limitations. And of course, we went to Annapolis, Mr. President. In fact,
together.
You mentioned the other day, you and I were sitting together at that committee table, trying to convince the good folks down in Annapolis to return local control to the city, and it didn't happen. And so we'll see where that goes going forward.
Thank you.
I hope I've been responsive, Mr. President.
Very much so. Thank you. And Mr. Chair, I will stop hogging the questions for now.
Before I turn it over to other questions, I just wanted to ask one quick follow-up. Mr. Commissioner, in regards to the spy plane, is there an actual written proposal with a commitment of funds from any foundation to pay for it?
I don't know about a written proposal. I know about conversations.
So there's verbal commitments, but there's no proposal in writing that guarantees anybody paying for anything?
What I know about is conversations. I don't have any firsthand information about commitments. I know about conversations about someone or some entity underwriting it.
That might, okay. You can come up to the, thanks.
Sure. Sunny Schnitzer, Mayor's Office, Deputy Chief of Staff for Public Safety. Thank you. The city has not received a formal proposal, nor have there been explicit commitments of funds for this program.
Gotcha. And have you, are you aware of the potential funders? Have you spoken to them? Have they said that they will fund everything that has verbally been spoken about?
We have not spoken to them, no.
Okay, thank you.
I had just a really quick follow-up on the president's question on this spy plane proposal. Can you talk about the outcomes, any outcome data? My understanding is that was used in 2015, I believe. Can you talk about the number of arrests or crimes solved with the usage of that technology?
I cannot, because in that time, it was a short period of time, to my recollection, less than a couple of weeks, 13 days, and there was very limited participation by the police department. So I don't think any data was actually collected then and are safe to be able to present on that.
Okay, so there's, it sounds, based on the line of questioning and your responses from both the president and your responses, is that there isn't just enough data, any data to really substantiate
That is correct.
Effectiveness of this at any point in its usage at all. You might have to use the mic up front.
Just to specify, in the 13 days that it was up, it captured aerial footage of certain crimes that were caught, but none of it turned into evidentiary packets that would have led to an arrest. So for us, again, we want to make sure that the claims that are being made by the program are based on data-driven analysis. There's simply not enough data on a 13-day window to be able to infer the kind of reduction goals that have been purported by this. We've spoken to them about that, and they've discontinued making those claims. But for us, again, we want to make sure that the solutions we're pushing forward are data-driven and proven solutions as much as possible.
And I'm supportive of that. I just wanted to ask the question for the record.
Yes, sir.